If you're looking to lose weight but you're not sure where to get started, here are 4 simple tips to get you going in the right direction. Now, this isn't about complicated plans or diets. These are 4 realistic, actionable steps that you can take to help you get started on your weight loss journey and lay a foundation for long-term success. For weight loss, you need to be in a calorie deficit, which means that you're burning more calories than you're taking in. Essentially, you got to eat less. Now, for me, I found that when I want to lose weight, it's better to focus on changing the behaviors that cause me to gain the weight rather than go on some specific diet. And these 4 tips will allow you to get started down that path. Think of them as a foundation to start. These are simple changes that you can implement right away to help build your momentum and your confidence. Then, as you progress, you can add more advanced strategies later. Now, you can choose to just do a couple of these or all of them, but I do recommend that tips 1 and 2 should be done together because they really do complement each other. Tip 1, start eating smaller portions. I use a motto called space on the plate. What this means is that when I put food on my plate, I want to make sure that I could see some of the plate around my food and then also between the different types of food that might be on my plate. My portions in the past were always way too big. I would just load up my plate with a lot of food, and whatever was on there, I would eat. By taking less food on my plate and combining this with tip number 2, which we're going to talk about shortly, I found that I started eating less. And there were times when I didn't go back for seconds. And every once in a while, I would leave a little extra food on my plate. This step got me thinking about and become more aware of my portion sizes and started getting me to ask questions like, why do I need all this? And do I really need to eat all this food? Remember, these are just initial steps to get you started. We're not even talking about calories or tracking or changing the type of foods that you're eating. Step 1 is just about cutting back on the portions of the types of foods that you're eating now. If you've gained weight, then you've been eating over your maintenance level of calories for a while now. So just by starting to cut back on your portions, you're going to start toward the path of losing weight. Tip number 2, eat more slowly. Now, this tip works hand in hand with tip number 1. When I used to load up my plate with all that food, the main reason why I would be able to eat it all was because I was eating so fast. I would just inhale this whole plate of food so fast. Over time, I learned that I just need to slow down and eat more slowly. And these 3 things are what I started doing. I started taking smaller bites. I would put the fork down in between bites. I would chew my food longer and actually swallow it before I took the next bite. This let me really enjoy my food, to actually taste it, and I also didn't feel as deprived. And because I was slowing myself down, I actually would feel fuller sooner, so I wasn't eating as much. The smaller portions from tip 1 combined with this tip of eating more slowly really works great in helping you start cutting back your portions and eating less food. Tip number 3, pick one thing that you can improve on, cut back on, or eliminate. So take a look at your diet over the course of the week and find one thing that you can improve on, cut back on, or eliminate. Just one thing. Now, this tip is designed to help you start making small changes and sticking to them over time, which is how we develop new habits. So pick something very specific that's easy for you to change, something that you can focus on that's manageable but doesn't overwhelm you. And by specific, I mean specific. Don't say something like, oh, I'll just eat healthier. I want you to ask yourself, what exactly are you changing, by how much, and when are you going to do it? So for example, cutting back on high-calorie sugary sodas and replacing them with a low-calorie option. Or if you go to fast food restaurants, cutting down the number of visits per week, or bringing your lunch to work. Or one of my favorites was that when I would go out to dinner, eliminating appetizers and dessert. Or if I do have dessert, splitting it with multiple people. If you drink alcohol regularly, maybe you just cut back how much you're drinking per night or save it for the weekends. Or improve one thing from a specific meal. For example, maybe in breakfast, if you're using a lot of sugar in your coffee or creamer, cut that back. And if eliminating something completely is too hard, just do it gradually. So if you drink 3 sodas in a day, cut back to 2, and then eventually you could work toward 1. The key is to find something simple that you can change and focus on that change over time until it becomes a new habit. Then over time, once you've established this change in your life, you could pick something else. For more information on this, I have a video on how simple changes can make a big difference in your fitness success. I will link that in the description below. Take a look at that for more information on this specific process. Tip number 4, increase your activity. Now, if you're a sedentary person and you're not really active, you want to find a way to start getting more active, to just get moving in some way. It doesn't matter where you're starting from, just try to add some more movement into your day. This will give you an additional decrease in your calories. But I do want to mention that the most important thing as far as weight loss goes is controlling your food as opposed to the exercise. The exercise is going to give you a decrease in calories, but those calories can be easily put back with a small amount of additional food that you eat. So don't think that just because you exercised or did some activity that you can eat whatever you want. And if you want more information on this, I have a video called Exercise Will Not Beat Diet for Weight Loss. I'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at that. But that being said, I personally find that being active while I'm trying to lose weight really helps keep me on track, helps burn some additional calories, and feel healthier. The key is to find exercises that you enjoy and that you can integrate into your life very easily. But if you've never exercised and you don't know where to start, just start walking. That's the simplest option, and it's just excellent for overall health. Just start trying to increase your steps over time. And it doesn't have to be that complex. It could be as simple as parking further away from a store and walking across a parking lot, starting to take the stairs instead of an escalator, or integrating a very short walk, 10 to 15 minutes into your life 3 times a week, and then gradually build from there. Keep it simple and attainable so that you increase your chances of sticking to it. And the important thing about this tip is that I want you to start thinking about how active or inactive you really are. And if you're inactive, start getting more active. So there you go, 4 simple tips to help get you started toward losing weight. Remember, these tips are not meant to be everything that you'll ever do. They're just great basics to get you started in the right direction. Then, over time, you can build on them as you progress. If you like what I had to say in this video, click the like button, subscribe, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video.